Stop right there, Arbiter Rao. Though I am here on official business, I would prefer to keep this cordial. The Consul seeks answers related to your recent activities. I approach you openly in the hopes that you will comply with his request and come with me peaceably.
What do you blather about? Delay me and you will pay the price. Not only do I have more pressing business with a colleague, but I do not answer to sentinels or the Consul.
Questions of intent. Now, what shall it be, Arbiter Rao? I sent the message that drew you here. Virgil shall not arrive to aid your decision-making.
Virgil's not coming, you say? Curious. And here I was thinking I was already present.
Virgil! Touting your flair for the dramatic, even now I see. But I fear our reunion must wait until we've dealt with this pawn of the Consul.
I had not expected a third party, but it is so much the better. I'm afraid you must come with me as well, Arbiter Montag.
A sentinel demanding anything of me? What madness! Neither Tristan nor I shall accompany you anywhere. Any attempts to force us shall be met with violent reprisal.
I'm somewhat embarrassed to acknowledge that, in my haste to see Virgil, I seem to have led us into a trap. Though ironically, it appears Virgil has been caught as well.
This fool impersonated my credentials, triggering a system alert that led me here. A lowly deception, even for one of the Consul's own.
It was a necessary deception, and one not undertaken lightly. Its aim was to draw your colleague here without bloodshed, for I know he would not have arrived at my request.
Your explanation does not pull my heartstrings, Sentinel. Yet you at least had the sense not to assail us outright. Surrender, and perhaps you may yet live.
You may not believe me, but I have much admiration for the work you and Arbiter Montag have done for the Protectorate. I've no wish to fight. Enough loyal subjects have died in this war. Come willingly and peaceably, I beseech you. Both Arbiter Rao and Arbiter Montag were explicitly requested to return to Praetor by the Consul, alongside all other Arbiters some months ago. Refusal without reason is treasonous.
And I'm sure that if we went, we would have been returned whole, neither interrogated nor mentally refreshed. As if your master's nefarious agenda would allow that.
I've no inkling of what you speak. My only master is the Protectorate. My only agenda, the return of peace throughout Arcadia.
Very well. But be warned, I'm not exactly trained in the art of improvisation. We'll need a very good reason for my not answering the Consul's summons.
Do you expect me to believe that? Not only are you not in shackles, but you're also still alive. I can't imagine Arbiter Rao would have allowed that willingly.
Yes, we were going to find their stash of contraband protectorate rations, with all the labels crossed out. Architect preserve us.
I see. It would appear I misjudged this situation after all. I must reinterpret my orders. Accosting you illegally and the subsequent punishment would be mortifying.
So he's chosen not to attack, but the situation has not changed. We spare him. His master gains another tool to cover up the Supreme Arbiter's death.
What are you talking about? I do not seek to hide the Supreme Arbiter's death. I seek to find her killer. Such was next on my list of duties after I apprehended you.
No. My earlier reluctance to kill this sentinel does not denote trust. There's no guarantee he wouldn't attempt to arrest us at a later point.
This is all clearly a tactic on the Consul's behalf. By sending out his agents, he seeks to deflect suspicion from himself. That is, if our compatriot here speaks true.
What must you think of me, or my fellow sentinels, that you'd even suggest I'd lie to arbiters? I'm not the one positing scurrilous accusations about our beloved consul. But you needn't take me at my word. My next assignment was to investigate the Oculus collating post. A hidden room there may contain information pertinent to the investigation. I cannot speak to its purpose, only that it is strange and worthy of investigation.
Or it is yet another falsity, intended to draw us close before snapping our necks.
It's a risk worth taking. I can endure whatever the consul sends my way, and if there is a minuscule chance that this sentinel speaks true, we must investigate.
I'm pleased to be of service, in some manner or another. Protectorate subjects should aid one another. Secret is a misnomer. The room appears to have been built by mistake, but someone forestalled its demolition without marking it on station blueprints. This is what is suspect. I will take my leave of the lot of you, and in peace. It is my sincere hope that circumstances are as you claim, lest we be forced to meet again.
I shall follow him out, just to certify he intends to act as he speaks. That's done with. He left peaceably, as he said, though I have my doubts for how long.
That was some impressively savvy improvisation before, Commander. Without you, circumstances would have certainly devolved into a battle to the death.
I'll spare you my doubts for the umpteenth time, Tristan. I just hope the risk is worthwhile.
I appreciate your caution, but it is quite unnecessary. My comrade and I will look into Oculus collating post. Yes, but never for long, and it's been many years. I also have no recollection of any hidden room, so we may have some hunting to do. I regret we've not had more time to talk, Virgil. It has been ages.
Worry not. I'm certain we'll have plenty of time to converse when you've finished your investigation. I have several leads of my own to pursue, as a matter of fact. Until our paths cross again, my friend.
Commander, I've been thinking. Can I bend your ear a moment? We got the intel we need, Commander. The undisputed claims our destination. When we find Willard and stop this law-damned program in its tracks, Auntie's Choice will get what's coming to them. Been doing some thinking about ending the grafting program for good. It's gotta happen. I just didn't think it would start this way. With me turning murderer. Auntie had me good and fooled. She ain't any better than Spacer's Choice. Making any of them see reason is an impossibility. Our overlords had a saying in Tau Ceti. If you got a rabid canid, you put it down before it maddens the whole pack. They used to say it about us workers, like we were the problem. It was terrifying. But now I reckon I see some sense in that saying. Retribution never came for the folk at the top back then, but it certainly can now. What if I think I already have? I wonder if this is what Ortiz had in mind when he sent me that message. He trusted my judgment, knew I always aimed to do right by him and folk everywhere. But he also knew both of us had been lied to when we joined up. The notion that our taking extraordinary risks would pay dividends. Do you think he knew this would be the final straw? Thanks, Commander. Maybe this is what folk mean by the architects setting things in motion. If I hadn't broken my contract, I wouldn't be here. Maybe proving myself was never the intention. Maybe this is what I was meant to do. Suppose we're fixing to find out.
I recall this place. These stations have been automated since my day, though this one has certainly accrued dust. Odd that it would be in a state of lockdown. I have a general override that should allow us entry, but anything specific to local systems, including security systems, may be beyond me. What in places? These security measures should not be operational. And the station seems to be on reserve power.
Hostile spot!
Very careful. Well, no one is here, lying in ambush. Perhaps some stray systemic error activated the entryway defenses. We'd best first report to security ops, lift this lockdown. From there, we can set about reactivating the station's primary power, which will allow us to explore unhindered. Is that a footprint in the dust? This station shouldn't have received visitors in years. Be on guard. Someone else may be here. My passcode shall not work on this terminal. Unlocking it may be a creative endeavor. Good effort lifting the lockdown. We may now reactivate the station in the reactor room. The reactor activation circuits shall likely be dysfunctional. It's a known issue with these old stations. Let me look. Corroded transistors, dust in the actuator. Did a sprat gnaw on this? Sweet sovereign, what a mess. There. I think I have it. Let us hope my override does not trigger any security alerts. Good. This should avail us of a much simpler search. Let us return to the central room once more and see if anything seems out of place.
Ready to waste them, on your command.
Ready to dispense judgment! Be wary for anything that may be a clue as to the hidden room's location.
I cannot say I have had to search for a hidden switch in a protectorate holding before. Keep watch. It could be rather small and well hidden.
There.
I'm certain of movement.
Passcode is limber. No. Let's try amulet. No. Wingtip. No. Sovereign's gavel. I should remember this. Damn it.
Ambergris can't be it. That's too short for a facility like this. Wait. Oh, no.
Of the strategies of feigning innocence I have seen, this is certainly the most pathetic. I accuse you of trespassing upon the private domain of the Sovereign. For these crimes... Wait, I know you. Luther Okada? What in blazes are you doing here? And why do you wear a Sub Rosa uniform?
Because I work for Sub Rosa? More than that, I don't think I can say, Cadet Rao. Mostly because I'm not supposed to, but also because I can't remember.
I knew this man when I was still a cadet. Okada is, or was, a petty troublemaker, though a crafty one. As cadets, Virgil and I apprehended him often. Sometimes Virgil let him go, but he usually went to mental refreshment.
Often enough to know the technicians by name. Until I forgot them again.
This truly is no ploy. But mental refreshment is supposed to return wayward subjects to the proper path, not cause whatever this is. Despite his faults, the Okada I knew was ultimately benign. But the fact remains that he now trespasses in a secure facility. Duty dictates that I must execute him. That's a wise path. One that shall give me time to contemplate what must be done.
An Arbiter used the word execute in the last few seconds, yet I remain alive? Didn't think that was possible. I was sent here to do a specific job, but some of the details are hazy. Gives me conniptions. I was hired by an anonymous third party. They provided me with the station's location and credentials to bypass its defenses. May have tripped a few on my way here. Can't recall. I was told the station was abandoned, which it clearly isn't, and to break into this terminal and delete the information on it. That is all I know. Well, I'm surprised too. This used to be second nature. Now I'm nothing.
Ignorance does not excuse criminal action. Even if you did not know the severity of this infiltration, it remains a deadly serious infraction.
He and the other one must have put me away close to 12 times each. I used to be something of a ne'er-do-well.
Ne'er-do-well is a polite term. He was a repeat malefactor. I believe last time we met, he'd vandalized a janitorial automech in an attempt to make it spew profanity.
I got 18 months of hard labor for that. Served me right.
That's interesting, but it must be false. Sub Rosa is a large organization. Whoever asked for Okada must have wanted him specifically. But why?
I didn't used to be like this. I can still sneak with the best of them. Not being able to remember doesn't make me any worse as an agent. It doesn't.
Any of my fellow arbiters would have killed you before this conversation began. But I can't decide whether to disdain or pity you. I don't know that I can. He is a trespasser. His slipping mind matters not. My duty dictates it. Killing Okada may not affect the one who hired him, but his trespass is an indelible fact. He should not be here. That doesn't mean anything. An arbiter cannot trespass. And even if I could, I still act with the Protectorate's best interests in mind, not out of some base self-interest. Were the situation different, perhaps I could look the other way. But Okada has clearly defected, and is thus not afforded such a luxury. I am familiar with the concept, but in the Protectorate, intent matters little. Manslaughter still results in death. Sedition can happen unconsciously, just as it may consciously. We are presented with the rules by our leaders. If the rules are not there, we are not to follow them. That is how I was taught. Though this is hardly the place for a discussion about Protectorate law, I do at least see your point. It is fortunate you have gained my trust, for I would not bend to one who had not. Justice must serve a purpose. Okada may live, and I hope we shan't regret it. Begone! You've been granted your final stay of execution. Should our paths ever cross again, you know what will occur.
I didn't think this would happen. Thank you, Cadet Rao. My apologies for all the strife I caused over the years. And you, without you, I would have been reduced to my composite parts. Here, take these. I suppose you'll have more use for them than I, in my present state.
Allowing a Sub Rosa agent to leave with his life in the heart of a Protectorate station. We may have to speak on this further. But let us see what we came here for first. The hint pertaining to the passcode on that terminal, I believe I know the answer. It is contained in a phrase the Supreme Arbiter drilled into our heads for many years. An Arbiter's gavel is judgment, and an Arbiter's scalpel is analysis. Try entering that. From that terminal, it sounds as if the Supreme Arbiter had some sort of business with the Consul. To what end, I wonder? The tone of her response seemed relaxed, but I do not believe she would have met with the Consul unless she had no other choice. And that feckless agent. I don't understand his aim or who he would be working for. Only the Consul. But the Protectorate does not ally itself with Sub Rosa. I couldn't imagine the Consul pinning his duties on someone so clearly out of sorts as our recently departed friend. Besides, he has his own agents. Well, at least we found what we needed on the Supreme Arbiter's terminal. I only hope whatever awaits us at Central Control is less tumultuous. As for Okada, I'm not sure what to think. My decision to allow him to go free was at odds with all I have been taught. He was a traitor and should have died. Yet, I cannot help but feel strangely justified. My role does not allow for mercy. I am supposed to uphold the Protectorate's laws. How can I claim thus if I allowed a traitor to go free? Objectively to whom? Damn it! Forget this. Forget it all! I can't allow any specter of doubt to creep into my decisions. Let us list this incident as a fluke and move on. Altogether, I think visiting this station was fruitful for my ultimate task. Hopefully, we'll grow ever closer to discovering the Supreme Arbiter's true killer. And, circumstances aside, I appreciate your accompanying me here, Commander. It means much. Now let us return to the incognito and plan out our next steps. It would appear our next stop is Play-Thru, specifically Central Control. I look forward to traveling there, once you've sufficiently prepared. Potentially. In the past, the locale was shared equally between us Arbiters and the Console Sentinels. However, considering the traitors crawling throughout the rest of Arcadia, I fear what duplicity the Console may have wrought at Central Control. No. The Sentinel worked on the Console's behalf. I do note that the agent was an odd wrinkle, but that still does not fly in the face of what I believe. Excellent. I look forward to it.
The story of Anti-Cleo versus the Moon Man is a ballad for our ages. A thing of legend to be handed down for a melody to each successive generation. Spacer's choice, woman-headed mascot represents the worst impulses of Suck it! As described with us, Al City. But did Anti-Cleo take Spacer's choice devious and... Tossball team, the Anti-Cleo's darlings refused to do when things were the sponsorship series against the Spacers chosen.
I'm Jeannie Turper Tyler, sixth base person for the Anti-Cleo's darlings. Chose goalie at the end of the 56th inning, then made a Sunday goal to win the game. Whenever I see that Moon Man's grinning face, I want to cleave it in twain. Auntie's choice! Darlings! We won! Hostile takeover!
Very much.
Right back at you. I'm Auntie. And I... This specimen.
Attention, valued employees. Auntie here to brighten your workday with a just how much money your toil is. Always remember, commercialism is the foundation that Auntie's Choice Society is based upon. Not because we worship bits, but because of the system's glorious efficacy. While the Protectorate decide what its subjects get, we respond to what you want through your decisions as consumers. What's more, we skip the frivolously lengthy approval process our overbearing neighbors employ. Why wait 20 years to bring a new product to market when it can be enhancing people's lives now? As a responsible member of society, we allow you to take part in public product testing, respecting your right to risk a few pesky side effects as an early adopter. At Auntie's Choice, we understand that
It's high time one of you scientist types responded to my calling cards. The position's been open for more than 2 days, and already productivity is tanked by 149.4%. You want the role, it's yours, but I'm not budging on those hourly rates.
Let me guess. You're backfilling Rasmussen's position? Or all the scientists who work with him on Cloister lying cold on the lab floor?
Both, obviously. Unless you mean to tell me a graft like yours can install itself. Now, do you want the job or not? We're burning starlight.
I do. Been waiting on this moment. This grafting program is a law-damned abomination. I went to your lab on Cloister, saw for myself what kind of depravity your folk got up to there. It's sick. My friend was butchered by Rasmussen. And he wasn't the only one. In fact, this program's been a sham from the start. I got tossed aside. And for what? A mistake? Ain't nothing good that's come of this. It's time to call it quits.
What a preposterous notion. Shall we stop producing inhalers because of side effects? Or shut down all food factories because one severed appendage finds its way into packaging? No, certainly not. I am not to blame for whatever inconvenience you experienced as a first edition patient. To quit now would be to toss aside all our progress. Nonsense. I have myriad data at my disposal to dispute such a claim.
Don't matter to me what your plans are, or what you think you might accomplish. You've hurt too many good folk, and I've had enough.
I fear you've gotten too negative an impression of this work. Hear me out, will you? Allow me to assuage those fears. My mind is not entirely consumed by capital, I assure you. It's also consumed with professional pride and self-preservation. We cannot speak of sensitive business details here. There's no telling which opportunistic colleague or overpaid contractor could be listening in. They would ruin me. Ruin me! Meet me in back deck steerage. Take this pass for the tram. And for law's sake, make sure no hanger-on follows you. Especially that assistant of mine next door. Chin up, dear. I believe I'll change your mind yet.
We'll see. This song and dance from all manner of suits before. Reckon he'll try to reel us into a ridiculous scheme or bribe us with bits or booze or what have you. But this'll make it easier for us to intimidate the bastard into stepping down. Ooh, I relish the notion.
In the Tuesday and Thursday zones? Why even have the T-zones then? Oh, and sportsman-like is tolerated? Ha! That won't...
Live, love, laugh, purchase, and consume.
with Auntie's choice. As your peerless leader, known for her unparalleled business acumen, I might appear above the occasional frivolity. But no, I do enjoy spectating a sporting... as much as all of you base rank and file. The big rift cut off tossball news from home. But our Arcadia-grown league is a worthy substitute. Certainly a more profitable program than the Protectorate's watered-down...
Ah, you came. Foolish, aren't you? Thinking I'd reveal my secrets to the likes of you. Ha! Contractors, now's your chance. First one to kill these imbeciles gets a one-time Immunosol discount.
Guns cocked and loaded. Just give the signal.
Yeah.
I knew you'd come through, my good Biff. That discount will be applied to your next purchase at the commissary, but cannot be combined with other... Ah! You! You're still alive!
Ain't gonna be that easy to get rid of us, you idiot. This how you treat all folk who approach you in good faith?
No folk have ever made it this far. How did you get past all my contractors? They were heavily trained and heavily expensive. This again? What is it with you? No! I've no incentive to shut down my life's work, especially at the demand of common thugs.
You ever seen a grafted claw strip flesh from the bones of a stubborn old man?
No.
Well, on the count of 3, you will. 1.
All right, fine. Consider this my resignation. Here, take everything I have. Any bits left in my office are yours. Just, please, don't follow me.
Good riddance. But this ain't over yet. The other executives will be notified the moment Willard flees the undisputed claim. And within hours, dozens of rung climbers will be at the tower jockeying for his position. It's all but certain that they'll claim his work for their own, and make his bastardization of a grafting program all the worse if they so choose. Ain't about to let that happen. Ain't suggesting. I'm telling you that we can't stand by and do nothing. It's obvious he was up to his neck in some scheme. If we dig it up and get the word out, his legacy will be in shreds. Maybe folk will be less inclined to follow in his footsteps. Should all but guarantee that Willard can't come crawling out from whatever rock he's keen to hide under, in any case. All right. We ought to start by searching his office. Any evidence we can find regarding money or business dealings could be of value. Once we got what we need, we can head to the recording studio to get the word out. The promise of a scandal should be enough to get in the door.
Purchase and consume
with Auntie's choice. As your peerless leader, known for her unparalleled business acumen, I might appear above the occasional frivolity. But no, I do enjoy spectating a rousing sporting match as much as all of you base rank and file. The Big Rift cut off tossball news from home, but our Arcadia-grown league is a worthy substitute.
Certainly a more profitable program than the Protectorate's watered-down rip-off. Pitchball, they call it. My, how imaginative.
If we drag enough skeletons out of Willard's closet and dangle them in front of the masses, things will go our way. Just have to look in the right places.
you be here? My contract stipulates that this lab door remains locked at all times. I am not to be disturbed. Ha! That's funny, considering the heaps of times I've been called such.
Here to tell you that your treacherous fiend of a boss is now out of commission, and I'm investigating all of his indiscretions. You wouldn't happen to know about any unsanctioned business dealings, would you?
Ah, I'm afraid I can't help with that. I've only spoken with him once, upon my hiring. Well, yes, but not here or face to face. I was to have all communication sent to a private room at the Best Choice. He held all his business dealings and records therein. I gather he was circumventing intellectual property taxes or some such.
The Best Choice. That's the lounge for VIPs, looking out over the Esplanade, if I'm remembering right. We might pay it a visit. Oh, law. That room is what he meant by the carousal corner in that terminal entry, isn't it?
If that's all, I'll thank you kindly for closing the door when you leave.
Lounger. Not to mention the concession sales. Invasive marketing hopped it out of the arena.
Purple berry product samples! Purple berry product samples!
Branded Sprat Crisp penalty buckets. But I digress. Just as impossible, we all need to put on our winger face. Go the extra even zone. This is a marathon, not a sprint to get humped in the Wednesday zone. Although it is that too. Sometimes you can't score a body goal without an offside.
You can do it.
Play by the rules or play to win. You can't do both. Feeling motivated? Certainly you are. Now, step to the line.
Tramicular, arriving any moment now.
Always remember, commercialism is the foundation that Auntie's Choice Society is based upon. Not because we worship bits, but because of the system's glorious efficacy. While the Protectorate decide what its subjects get, we respond to what you want through your decisions as consumers. What's more, we skip the frivolous monkey approval process our overbearing neighbors employ. Why wait 20 years?
Purple berry product samples! Purple berry product samples!
Now, as a responsible member of society, we urge you to take part in public protesting, respecting your right to risk a few pesky side effects, and a doctor. At Auntie's Choice, we understand the marketplace is
I'm gonna have nightmares about this room, ain't I? The kind that get real uncomfortable to talk about later.
Auntie's Jingle Contest CM is free technician, third class Tirunaru Karasar. Audio recording.
I love Auntie, yes I do. Her hair looks real, like a real hairdo. I love Auntie, so do you. Let's buy Sisty Bits, covered in goo.
Congratulations, Janie. You and your family win a full year's supply of Force Pockets for one low price.
We took what nature heedlessly assembled and vastly rebettered it through artificial means. At Auntie's Choice, we strive to be 110% wholly plus artificial. Artificiality is our guiding principle. Unavoidable embedded with Auntie's Choice.
Ah, yes, I understand I may look in charge, but I'm just minding the desk for our esteemed director. The real talent, as they say.
I need to get a message on the broadcast, urgently. Can you help with that?
Unless you need any clever pointers on enunciation. Our director, however, is in one of the recording booths, through the door to your left. You'll want to speak with her.
Welcome to Wireless Free Arcadia Studios. Thessaly Falk, Director of Talent Placation and General Runnings. Here to contract a recording or in the market for autographs?
Holt sent me to speak with you. I got a message I'd like to send out over the wireless. Trust me, this is one all the folk in Auntie's Choice won't want to miss.
Is that so? Well, the more riveting the content, the larger our commissions. However, as you're without an appointment and I'm quite busy, I'm afraid I've only time to record one take. Do make it count. Shall we begin?
Glad we're in agreement. I'm here to expose the truth about a prominent vice president. His business dealings are not what they seem.
That's quite the bold claim. Now remember to speak into the mic, dear. Enunciate clearly but with feeling. Inhabit the words. Be the message. Joining us today in the studio is a very special guest and rare specimen indeed, a grafted soldier. And one who alleges that one of Auntie's own vice presidents is not who he seems. Take it away.
Inez Sealong speaking. I got intel on an illegal program led by Vice President of Experimental Operations, Willard Conan. Folk aplenty suffered because of it.
Some say there cannot be success without suffering. It's more or less standard operating procedure, isn't it? Unless you're leaving out any gory details. Some within our organization might call that frugal, thrifty even. That is, why waste a perfectly good resource when no one else has use for it?
These are human beings I'm speaking of, not barrels of void damn uranium. They were good folk who didn't know what they were signing up for. They deserved better. But if that ain't incriminating enough for you, Willard had himself some money problems, which ain't too distant from a grave sin far as Auntie's concerned.
Ah, now we're getting somewhere. Tell me, did he squander all his bits on drink? Bet it all on a tarmac and cheese rebranding? Or worse? Thoroughly recount every lurid detail?
He stole from Auntie directly. I have here, in his own words, an admission to the crime. It's go-getterness gone too far. And you know what happens to one of Auntie's nephews who misbehaves?
Splendiferous! Couldn't hardly get more sensational than that if we tried. The audience will be on the edge of their seat hearing all the ghastly minutiae about this scandal.
I think we did it. Won't know for sure until the broadcast airs, of course, but law, I reckon I might finally be able to put this to rest. For Ortiz. For everyone. Thank you, Commander.
Oh, Inez, almost forgot. We have a bit of a goodie bag for special guests who visit the studio. You qualify. Do collect it from the front desk on your way out.
That's good for what ails you. Auntie Cleo and Pal's Forcewurst. It's not the worst unless it's Forcewurst.
Zeb always wanted to bring change to Arcadia, like you and I are doing now, Commander. Feels sure. Always happy to tool around for a bit. What did you have in mind?
So, Arbiter Rao. I can sympathize with his plight to some extent. Dead mentor, apparent cover-up, sure, I'd be mad too. But why do we have to be the ones to help him? Hasn't he got any other Protectorate hullheads to come to his aid? Maybe I ought to spell this out. I'm his enemy, Commander, and he's mine. Letting him aboard is putting both of us in a bad spot. Yeah, but do the rest of us deserve to be put at risk? I ain't just saying this to be contrary, Commander. If he actually agrees to keep the peace, then fine, but I still gotta maintain due diligence. You should too. Anyway, appreciate you hearing me out. Have time for a chat, Commander? Commander, you hear my interview over the wireless too? They've been playing it every hour. Part of it, anyway. Seems all the evidence we brought Thessaly made an impression. Other VPs are fearing for their jobs now. Can you imagine? Reckon nobody will touch Willard's work now. Definitely. I'd bet a post-mortem on Willard's activities is being drafted as we speak. Few are keen to repeat the same mistakes as someone trotted out as a cautionary tale. If I ain't said it recently, then let me say it again. Thank you. I don't think I could have done right by Ortiz all on my own. Nobody has to be hurt like he was again. Reckon I'll find a way to look after the other grafted soldiers out there. It's what Ortiz would have wanted, and what he deserved. But all that'll come after we save Arcadia. You know, it's hard to fathom that just months ago I spent so much law-damn time begging to be accepted, like I was worth only what other folk thought of me. I was so lost. I really believed when I ended my contract that a better life was possible. I know the truth about Auntie's choice now, and I know who I am. So yeah, a better life is possible. Just not at someone else's mercy. I ain't gonna let myself or anyone else be led into the same trap they set for us, ever again. I will, Commander. Anyhow, that's enough sorting my thoughts for the moment. We got a galaxy to save.
Let us make
a short-range transmission just came in from Zeb. Sounded urgent. He's requesting we meet him at the tomb of the Matriarch, here on Praetor. It's where the Matriarch and First Sovereign are buried. supposedly. Zeb left out the mission parameters, probably worried his message might be intercepted. Not unfounded, given the Protectorate presence on Praetor. He did say he'd reach out to us again if he needed help. Reckon we should take it as a compliment. Zeb doesn't trust easy. Anyway, I'd really like to go, if there's time. Much obliged. The sooner we can rendezvous with the tomb, the better. Got the sense that whatever's going down, it's happening now. Turn your lamps on that building over there. Reckon that's where we'll be able to get our hands on the rift modulator.
Protectorate control of Praetor has largely been achieved through the maintenance of a blockade. A survey of Praetor indicates there may be an alternate route past the blockade via the Automech factory.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when. That's one hell of a wall. Going over or under's out of the question. What about a...
That sound! Mortar fire! We must take cover immediately!
Your vitals look grim, Commander.
that doesn't sound like anything I'd like to meet up close.
In the nick of time, as always.
Your arrival could not be more timely. After the events of Paradise Island, I could think of no one more suited to conduct a surgical strike of this nature. I'm, glad to see you again as well, Niles.
Gotta say you had me worried. The message you sent sounded serious.
Then I composed it accurately. To the task at hand. We are standing before the tomb of the matriarch. Few are invited to tour its halls, and even fewer know of its greatest secret. For any subject, visiting the matriarch and First Sovereign's resting place is the pinnacle of empty social achievement. But the tomb's corpses are its least important feature. The intelligence my friends risked all to acquire revealed a vault in its lowest level containing the matriarch's body of work, hidden from the public. Who knows what technologies the Protectorate is withholding? If the matriarch was the genius she's purported to be, the skip drive cannot be the entirety of her inventions. As I said, the vault is in the lowest level of the tomb, and that portion is inaccessible to all but those with the highest possible security clearance. Keep up. Whatever technological advancements may be sequestered here, the goal is almost certainly to keep the populace of Arcadia subservient to the pernicious whims of its governing body. But not for much longer. We are going to liberate any and all of the Matriarch's research, whatever it may be, and distribute it to the people. The time for considering risk is past. We cannot afford to be timid when battling giants. Besides, now I have 2 Earth Directorate agents to assist me. What could go wrong?
See a half-dozen points of failure, but bad odds ain't ever stopped us before.
Glad we're operating under the same understanding. We're unlikely to have another chance like this. We must follow through now that we've made the opening. Which also means, once inside, we cannot leave until it's done. Slim chance of that. I'll not assign a task to others that I'm unwilling to undertake myself.
Color me surprised.
The consul is incensed about the death of one of his own. He sends sentinels to hunt Audra down. I try to help her hide, but they found her anyway. They tortured her for the locations of the other members of our cell. They're all gone now, dead. I alone am left to complete our mission.
What the commander said. We thought we were doing the right thing.
I will not pretend it isn't a blow, but what's done is done. There will be time to grieve once the Protectorate is dead and buried. After you. Stay close and keep silent. The less attention we draw, the better. By the Matriarch, there weren't supposed to be visitors today. That sentinel and splinters in our plan if they're not dealt with.
You hang back here. The commander and I'll take care of this.
Gladly. I'll rejoin you once the path is clear.
Let me know when you need a strength.
I see. You must have noticed a spot of dust on that artifact. Making it look fiendish. Good initiative. Coming up on some foes.
Will we see her equal?
It has been 10 minutes. Perhaps you would like to...
Got my lamp.
Ever more content, never more content. Chase.
Prosecuting! Ready to wait! Taken care of. We can continue. Wait there. I'll come to you.
All handled.
I'm seeing unfriendly.
The security room that we need to reach is nearby. We should be able to disable that energy barrier from there.
Who goes? No one is allowed in here without the proper authorization. Ah, I see you have come armed. Intruders, then. I suppose you intend to extract my surrender through means most lurid and foul.
Damn, the head curator. I had hoped to slip in before his shift, but no matter. We cannot allow him to leave and raise the alarm. He must be dispatched, quickly.
How's that now?
Now hold on. I know we had to kill that fella with the Sentinel, but this man's unarmed. He's already surrendered.
I rather think that line has some blurry distinction.
How much of a fuss could this one fella cause, really? Come on, Zeb. No need to cut any bellies over maybes and ifs.
Please, if secrecy's your concern, you may rely upon me to be the utmost spirit of discretion. I have never betrayed a confidence in my life.
Allowing him to leave would be a grave error of mercy, one we can ill afford in this place.
If we start gunning down civilians, where does it end, Zeb? Ain't Arcadia covered in enough blood?
You need me to clear that moral obstruction for you? Fine. This man is an instrument of empire, perpetuating the tyrant's lies. And were our positions reversed, he would not hesitate to execute us, or worse, send us to mental refreshment.
I'm kin to the risks, Zeb.
Are you? Can you even fathom the indignity of having your every thought scrutinized and scored and made perfect? My sister was made into a shadow. I endured daily sessions with the lathe of particularity and still find myself policing my own mind for untoward proclivities and inclinations.
The commander's right. This man didn't put you in the lathe, Zeb. He's just trapped in the system, same as everyone else.
I never have possessed immunity against your pleading. Fine, you're free to leave. Do not repay this kindness with treachery.
You are merciful and wise. I will depart at once.
Let's hope the consequences of this decision do not assert themselves while we're still here. You and Niall should turn off the power to the security barrier and make your way to the vault. I'll remain here and guide you as best I can through the labyrinth. No turning back now.
No going back from here. Not until we've done what we came.
Hold! Don't set foot in that room. This man is just a trigger.
Over here, Commander. Reckon I found something that might be useful later. Have a look, Commander. With a little elbow grease and some inadvisable engineering, reckon I can finagle these components into a fine explosive gel. Who knows? Could come in handy. Just doing my part. But thanks for the vote of confidence, Commander. Let's keep on. I'll continue tinkering on this in the meantime, see what I can come up with.
Our commander hangs to... Commander, stop dying at once!
Efforts to prolong his life, my father's condition continues to deteriorate, both physically and mentally.
Good.
It has been
Now there should be 3 switches in this room.
difficult
When
to
pulled in the
observe.
correct
His latest
order,
effort
the
would see
door
him
should
entombed
open.
within an automechanical
If I'm
body.
reading this right,
I
the
objected,
order
of
is
course,
1,
to my
3,
father becoming some
2.
chimera of machine
Which
and
switch
man,
corresponds to which
but was
number?
overruled. Now
Damn
the
it.
order informs me that,
Why must the
far from
protector
being a
inspect
panacea,
everything?
this attempt
Let's see if we
has
can't
exacted
suss
a
out
toll
which
on my
switch is
father that
which
is
before we
likely to
commit to
finish
guessing.
when time and
Seems I
disease
am
have
toward
already
another
begun.
defibrillation.
I may soon be
Maybe
sovereign.
if we could peep the
If that
wiring.
bears out, I will need to hide all of this. Burn all of my father's research into longevity. Seal his auto-mech body away at the factory. What grief I will inherit. What mess.
You trigger the alarm. Taking punitive action.
Before you make a step on something, I've just found a logbook that indicates there are N-way wires installed that may correspond with each switch. Perhaps that will be useful. The code I originally supplied can still be relied upon. 132. Impeded by this puzzle, but I apologize for my... That vault door is quite the obstruction. Fortunately, there should be a code. No. Fuck! They changed it recently. That shouldn't have happened until next week. I'm certain I can diagnose the issue. Now that you've cleared the way, I'll come down and join you.
I might have something else that can get you into that vault, Commander. Does that seem a little off to you, Commander? In all fairness, he tried to help. I don't think he's aiming to get us killed exactly, but I wouldn't place bets on our safety being much of a priority, neither. That business with the curator. I'm glad Zeb stood down, but it was close. Never seen him so eager for bloodletting before. He's changed. Ain't sure for the better. I know you're right. Suppose part of me still feels responsible for what he's gone through. If only I stuck it out, maybe then, well, no use stewing. We've still got a vault to break into and tyrannical government to topple. Speaking of, remember those components I found? I was able to turn them into something halfway useful after all. This gel should get us through that vault door. Turns out you were right about trusting my instincts. You take the honors, Commander. I'll be right behind you.
No. I was hoping for a more...
Running hot, or was that a hint of worry I heard in your voice back there?
Alas, I neglected to pack a thermometer. This terminal should allow me to retrieve all the information stored here.
In times of darkness, we must hold our principles.
This cannot be right. There's nothing here save the designs for the skip drive. Not even initial concepts.
The further we stray
10 years in Arcadia and the matriarch invented... nothing? And what's this about a deal with the Earth Directorate? We need to talk. Now.
His notions regarding these rifts are sorely misguided. Why close them when we can use them to Arcadia's benefit? It matters not what the Order thinks, what the Doubters say. The Architect bestowed us with the power of skip drives so that we may secure a perfect future. We must act with haste. I only ever wished for Henry to embrace his role as the caretaker of Arcadia, the savior of us all. But if he has chosen a different path, I will do as I must. And I must not fail.
I knew the Protectorate festered with lies, but I had no idea the Earth Directorate was complicit. Niles, did you know?
Slow up, Zeb. What are you talking about?
It says your agency struck an agreement with the Matriarch over a century ago. In exchange for skip drives, Arcadia was allowed to completely govern itself with absolutely no outside interference, including from the Earth Directorate.
What message? Why didn't you say anything about it sooner?
If this information is true, then the Earth Directorate permitted the Matriarch to create a colony filled with her vassals, enslaved to her will. Everything Arcadia is, all of the suffering that's taken place here, it all could have been avoided. Things could have been different. There's more. The skip drive schematics are here. How the explosive safeguards against tampering work, its evolution over time. But no original concepts, no sketches. Nothing. Our dear matriarch is a fraud, a cheat. She did not invent the skip drive. There are messages here between her and the First Sovereign that all but confirm it.
A convenient revelation for an enemy of all the Protectorate stands for. Pardon me if I choose to remove myself from this mad conversation.
I thought I might find some technological innovation that could be handed to the Protectorate's enemies. But this is almost better. By releasing this information, we can thoroughly crush the image the Protectorate has been built upon. The Sovereign will be revealed as the unclothed emperor he is, and demolish Arcadia's myth of superiority. If we administer truth to the people, their strength will return. Erstwhile, giving the skip drive designs to the Protectorate's enemies will even the fight. Their technological prowess will be made into nothing. Everything will come apart.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Not to mention how this agreement with the Protectorate will completely destroy the Earth Directorate's reputation.
I was not aware of such a connection between rifts and the skip drives. But I have confidence the Order will figure out a solution. Science is their theater, after all. As for the Earth Directorate, don't you see? This frees them from any obligation to the Protectorate. They'll be able to manufacture skip drives themselves. The deal will be voided.
It's worth holding the Earth Directorate's feet to the fire for this deal, but I don't think the entire organization should be judged by its worst decision. It's done a lot of good, too. Plus, making the skip drive tech available, that's like throwing a lit match into a fuel converter. Can't think of a worse idea right now.
Do you think the Protectorate stand around debating the potential for injury? No. They act, and so must we. Damn the consequences. And should I refuse to leave empty-handed? What then?
Whoa. Put the brakes on, Commander. I'm sure Zeb can be reasoned with. I know you're aiming to do the most good for the most amount of people, Zeb, but sowing chaos ain't the way.
Do you know how many of my friends died so we could reach this point? Audra and the others, tortured and hunted down like animals. And you would have me what? Give up now on the cusp of victory? Lay bare my throat for the Protectorate machine to cut? I am listening. Though I suppose I could stand to be a little more receptive. Out of respect for my friend, I will forestall the release of this information and seek another avenue to help liberate the people of Arcadia. I'll remain here for a while longer to cover our tracks. The Protectorate will discover the break-in, but hopefully never learn more specifics of what we did and found.
Guess this is goodbye.
Only for now. If we both come out of this war intact, I'll find you. If you wish to be found, of course.
I want to talk it over with the Commander, but yeah, maybe we can work something out.
There they are. These are the ruffians who threatened me.
He's hastening to cover. Just reload.
Unleash my might upon them!
Don't even know where to start with everything that happened in there. At least we were able to talk Zeb out of his plan to release everything we uncovered. I'm all for sowing chaos in the Protectorate, but that kind of information is liable to do more harm than good in the wrong hands. I understand his desperation. What I don't understand is the Earth Directorate's part in Arcadia's existence. Ever agreeing to such a cruel bargain in the first place? I expect backroom dealing from unregulated corporations, not from the only agency keeping them in check. The Earth Directorate should be better than that. You're telling me you wouldn't have done things differently, or at least tried to. Permission to speak candid, Commander. Strange as it sounds, this whole experience with Zeb has helped me finally understand the position Augustine was in. Back at Horizon Point, ain't easy having to decide between your allies and protecting untold innocence. It's the damnedest thing. In spite of everything, I find myself relieved we spared her. Augustine still owes a debt to us, and the rest of the galaxy. Maybe she pays it all someday, and maybe she doesn't. Either way, you were right to give her the chance. If you taught me anything, it's that kindness ain't ever the wrong choice. Reckon time will decide the heroes from villains in this tale, but it's gonna be hard to forgive the Earth Directorate for arranging the stage like this in the first place. Deep down, I'm still convinced the galaxy is better with the Earth Directorate in it, flawed as it is. But what happened with Arcadia can never be allowed to happen again. Something has to change within the Directorate. And I think we're best positioned to see that reformation through. All said, I appreciate you giving me the space to work through this. Sort of feels like the future's opening back up after a long time closed. Likewise, Commander.